A few days ago, I was sitting in the train, bound for Stockholm. It was early evening. There was little light in my compartment, and none at all outside. My fellow passengers were dozing, and I was very quiet, listening to the rattling of the train. And then I began to think of all the other times I had come up to Stockholm. It had usually been to do something difficult, such as to pass examinations. And now, I was coming to receive the prize in literature. That, too, I thought would be difficult. Deep within me, however, was a wondrous joy at receiving this prize. I tried to dispel my anxiety by thinking of those who would rejoice at my good fortune. There were my good friends, my brothers and sisters, and, first and foremost, my old mother who, sitting back home, was happy to have lived to see this day. But then I thought of my father and felt a deep sorrow that he was no longer alive. I could not go and tell him that I had been awarded the Nobel Prize. I knew that no one would have been happier than he to hear this. Yes, it was a deep sorrow to me that I could not tell him. All rustle and bustle ceased, and the sound of the wheels became a soothing, peaceful melody. The coaches no longer seemed to run on rails and sleepers, but to glide into space. I sat there and thought how much I should like to see my old father again. So light and soundless was the movement of the train that I could hardly imagine I was on this earth. And so I began to daydream. Just think, if I were going to meet Father in paradise. I seem to have heard of such things happening to other people. Why then, not to myself? The train went gliding on, but it had a long way to go yet, and my thoughts raced ahead of it. Father will certainly be sitting in a rocking chair on a veranda with a garden full of sunshine, flowers, and birds in front of him. He will be reading, of course, but when he sees me, he will put down his book, push his spectacles high up on his forehead, and get up and walk toward me. He will say, "Good day, my daughter. I am very glad to see you." Or, "Why, you are here, and how are you, my child?" Just as he always used to do. He will settle again in his rocking chair, and only then begin to wonder why I have come to see him. "You are sure there is nothing amiss?" he will ask suddenly. "No, Father, all is well," I will reply. But then, just as I am about to break my news to him, I will decide to keep it back just a while longer and try the indirect approach. "I have come to ask you for advice, Father," I will say, "for I am very heavily in debt." "I'm afraid you will not get much help from me in this matter," Father will reply. "One may well say of this place that it has everything except money." "Ah, but it is not money that I owe. Do you remember how you used to play the piano and sing Bellman's songs to us children, and how you would let us read Tegner and Runeberg and Andersen? It was then that I first fell into debt. Father, how shall I ever repay them for teaching me to love fairy tales and sagas of heroes?" Father will straighten up in his rocking chair, and a look of wonder will come into his eyes. "I am glad that I got you into this debt," he will say. "Yes, you may be right, Father, but then remember that that is not all of it. Think of those poor, homeless vagabonds who used to travel up and down, playing the fool and singing all those songs. What do I not owe to them, to their mischief and mad pranks? And the old men and women sitting in their small gray cottages, telling me wonderful stories of water sprites and trolls and enchanted maidens. It was they who taught me that there is poetry in hard rocks and black forests. And I am in debt not only to people. There is the whole of nature as well. The animals that walk the earth, the birds in the skies, the trees and flowers. They have all told me some of their secrets." Father will be as carefree and relaxed as he used to be. "Never fear, child. There is a remedy for your trouble." "I don't think, Father, that you really understand how hard it is for me. I'm also in debt to my readers. What would have become of me if no one had wanted to read my books? And don't forget all those who have written of me. Think of all those in foreign lands who have worked for me. I owe them gratitude, Father, both for their praise and for their censure." "Yes, yes," Father will say, and I shall see him look a little less calm. "Remember all who have helped me, Father," I shall say. "Think of my faithful friend Iselda, who tried to open doors for me when no one dared to believe in me. All the love that has come to me, the honors, the distinctions. Do you not understand now that I had to come to you to ask how such debts can be paid?